Wow, so didn't see that coming, and I know you know what I'm talking about. I mean, lots to break down here. Let's just get into it. Y'all leave a comment on how shocked you were at what transpired during this episode 1 through 10. Cause what? I want to start off at the very beginning here with this scene. Now, why is this scene important? Cause this right here.
Can I ask you one more question? What do you think happens when we die?
When we die? Great question. When you're born, you are like a single drop of water flying upward, separated from the one giant consciousness. You get older, you descend back down, you die, you land back into the water, become one with the ocean again. No more separated, no more suffering. One consciousness. Death is a happy return, like coming home.
So at the very beginning here, we have water, and then we see the one single drop, aka Tim wanting to return home. All the water imagery makes so much sense in this show now. Now we see the symbolism of the water in this show when it comes to the spirituality aspect of it and this nature of living and dying. All these characters kind of returning back home. You have everybody always sitting by the pool, going on the boat, Tim staring at the water right here. And I think it has to do with this idea of life and the ebbs and the flows. And even at the very beginning, when we see the body floating in the water, it resembles that one drop of water going back into the hole. And Zion himself splashes into the water at the very beginning when he's trying to go find his mom. So there's a lot of water in this season. I was wondering why. Now we know. All right, so let's get into the real shock of this episode, which was Lockie and Saxon's relationship here. But first off, seeing this image completely mirror what we saw earlier in the season, where it was Lockie looking at Saxon before Saxon woke up. Now we're getting the opposite here. And in that moment, and I'm pretty sure I called it in the video, I was like, oh man, hope this doesn't go the Game of Thrones route, which unfortunately it did. Now the shock here to me on a writing level was how they flipped the script of what I thought was going to happen completely. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been saying I feel like Saxon's going to take advantage of somebody. That was the way that his character was going. But, hey, kudos to the writers, because they completely went the other route where they made it look like that's what was going to happen with Saxon, but it actually ended up happening to him. He got taken advantage of. He's the one that succumbed to peer pressure and things were being forced on him. I didn't see that coming at all, so I got to give them kudos for that. They did a great job of hiding the direction they were going to go with that. Now, when it comes to the characters in the story of this episode, they also faked me out, because at this moment, I thought that Lochlan knew exactly what he was doing. But it turns out later during that retreat with Piper that he also didn't know what happened last night, and that threw me for a loop.
And very gently let them go. Goodbye.
So now you have both brothers feeling extremely guilty and taken advantage of and abused. And on like just a character writing level, I have no idea how that's going to turn out the rest of the season. It's going to be mayhem, and I feel like something really tragic is going to happen. Like I could see Saxon taking revenge out on him somehow, or you know, Chelsea and Chloe. I could feel like the brothers may be taking it out on them since they, you know, maybe feel pressured into, I don't know. But also, let's talk about Chelsea and Chloe real quick, because this part of the episode was crazy to me.
Hey, maybe he wants a threesome. Oh.
Threesome?
We never had a threesome before.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but not with another guy.
What about last night?
I mean, it wasn't a threesome. What, are you kidding me? That was my little brother.
Yeah, and you guys made out.
That was a joke.
What part was a joke?
You guys forced us to.
I didn't force him to jerk you up.
What do you mean? That never happened. But I don't remember that. I blacked out.
Well, I didn't. So...
That fucking drug. What the fuck did you give us anyway?
God, I don't think there's a drug in the world that would make me get with my brother. Hey, I don't judge, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Everyone has their thing. It's fine.
No, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's definitely not a thing. okay? It's not.
Okay.
Okay, let's just forget about it, please.
All right, this scene has me looking at Chelsea completely different. I was already indifferent about Chloe, but listen, why are they acting so nonchalant about this, so unapologetic about it? Because they did peer pressure, not so much Lockie because he wanted to, but Saxon, they pressured him to take that pill, but they're acting all like it's not a big deal. Oh, everyone has their thing. Like, this seemed off-putting. I'm looking at both of them sideways now. Wild. Now, I wasn't thinking too much about the party that Chloe was referring to, that Gary, Greg, whoever wanted to throw. But as soon as he ran into Belinda here and asked her to go, I was like, oh man, like, what's this party about to be? I think the party's definitely going to be that huge moment in the penultimate episode that sets everything up for disaster, because everyone is going to it. We're finally going to have the whole cast together, it seems, and something is about to go down. But besides that, the only other thing in this episode that really came to a head that was wild to me was this right here. Jacqueline went full on gaslighting mode, acting like everything that she was saying was a total lie. I was kind of dumbfounded by this, to be honest. I didn't think Jacqueline was this far gone. Now, I knew that all the girls in this trio had some stuff going on and were a little bit annoying, but we hadn't seen Jacqueline just fully outright lie and gaslight like this, right? And so now I really want to know how this dynamic is going to play out in the last couple episodes. I think a lot got revealed about the true nature of a lot of these characters in this episode. And the episode itself is called Denial, and we see that a lot, especially through Saxon and through Jacqueline. Like, Jacqueline's just in full denial. It's crazy. There was a powerful scene with Piper, though. Let me explain why. So in this scene with Piper, she's talking to the guru, and he's not saying anything. He's just sitting there listening, and Piper keeps talking and getting everything out, and she starts to get really emotional. And she's just not used to having that non-judgment and someone actually listening to her, and it gets her emotional. And I feel like a lot of us, like, even if we have a family that listens to us, or friends, I think in the era of social media where everything you put out gets judged so hard, that a lot of us can relate to this moment of finally being able to vent and someone just sitting there listening, and how powerful that could be. Like, I felt this moment was just an amazing moment in the show. Honestly, this part where Piper's talking to him and the part where Tim is talking to him were just two of my favorite scenes from the season so far. Zion finally showing up. This was his entrance, and seeing his mom like this. This was a hilarious way to open up the episode, and to have Zion come into the show. This was hilarious. Guy Talk finally gets the gun back, and honestly, I don't know where this storyline is really going with him this season. And let me explain why. Obviously, the storyline with the gun is that we want to see who ends up shooting the gun, you know, that leads to everything in the first episode. But with Guy Talk himself, it's interesting. I can't tell where he's going as a character. Like, I don't think he's the one that shoots everybody up. I don't see that happening. And the idea of him already losing the gun just got, you know, done, so he's not going to lose the gun again. So I don't see how his character fits into everything so far, and we're 6 episodes in. Him and Mook, I just don't know what's going on there. We'll see though. Y'all leave a comment. How do you think their characters are going to play a major role in everything that's going to go down? Lastly, the way that this episode ends with Rick here, and us not actually seeing who he wants to see, like, we don't see the face of the guy, is interesting to me, because I feel like, is it going to be like some gigantic reveal or something? I don't really see that happening, because we already have the reveal of Gary / Greg from past seasons being in the season. So I don't think this is going to be another person that we know. It may be some big actor or something. I don't know. I was just really surprised we didn't see his face at the end of this episode, because that almost makes it seem like who it's revealed to be is going to be really important, leaving it on this type of cliffhanger. I also don't see how his storyline, Rick's storyline, directly affects what's going on at the White Lotus either, where I want to see how that ends up being connected, because it seems like a side quest at this point. But yeah, the last couple episodes of this show have really gotten me into it. I feel like it's been a slow burning kind of show, but it's really picking up. And now that we have the penultimate episode on Sunday, y'all know my rule. And if you don't, it's that I think the penultimate episode is the most important episode in the entire season, because if you have a great setup for the finale, that means that the finale can hit as hard as it's supposed to. And it's directly correlated to how good the second to last episode is. So I can't wait to see what this show does on Sunday. But yeah, if you like this video, please go ahead and join the Foster fam either through Patreon or becoming a YouTube member to help support the channel. It allows me to keep making content like this. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see y'all.